Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. Same old Dave, same good raid content. I'm just rebranding the channel for better and bigger things in 2024. Today we're talking about one of the epics that I think are hugely underrated, which is Achak in our case today. So let's start talking about him. Probably one of the reasons you clicked into the video is a thumbnail where I'm showing how many things Achak can actually do. You didn't realize that his kit was that strong till you've seen that thumbnail. I will explain his kit showing how he can do all of these things, and then we'll test him in a budget-friendly team. So let's bring Achak. So he's a demon spawn. And yeah, so this is Achak, one of the strangest and most interesting designs in the game. But yeah, let's check his kit. Defense in all battles by 25. That's really a strong aura. So I've used my Achak early on in Doom Tower hard before I got stronger teams. That defense aura everywhere can really help your team. Now let's check the passive. Well, let's check his A3 first and then we'll go into the passive. So he attacks all enemies. He has a 90% chance. So 90% with the masteries, that's a 95%. So it's almost 100 of placing freeze in champions whose attack is higher than their defense, which is almost all of your PvE opponents. And then he can place HP burn on champs that are tankier. How this is useful? He can do one of two things, which is he will either place the freeze, which is some sort of control, crowd control. Nobody would take a turn, and because this is on a 3-turn cooldown, this is so fast. If you make him fast and accurate, we'll talk about the build in a minute. He will keep placing freeze and freezing everybody forever, controlling the opposing team. If not, he will place HP burn. The thing is, you want to pair Achak with another HP burner, preferably an AoE HP burner like Cronam, like Drixar. Well, Drixar burns with his passive. Akoth that you'll get for free from Doom Tower hard. Artak is an amazing example there. Why do we want to pair Achak with an HP burner? Let's check from his passive. So he heals all allies by 5% of their max HP. Every time an enemy under HP burn, the buff gets a turn. It doesn't have to be placed by him. So you pair him with Artak, you pair him with Akoth, and they will place those burns, and then the enemy start taking turns and healing your team. So that's passive healing, which is great in a lot of the advanced content in the game. And he also fills the turn meter of allies by 10%. Every time an enemy under a freeze, the buff gets a turn. People don't realize how strong his passive is. It doesn't have a cooldown. It's on all the time. So you're healing the team and you're boosting the turn meter from HP burns and freeze. In a perfect scenario, depending on his debuff, most of the time from my tests, he will place the freeze, not the HP burn. Pair him with an HP burn champ and you'll get the most out of his passive. On his A2, that's not all of it. He's still got a lot of good stuff here. On a 4-turn cooldown, which I'd prefer it on 3, but yeah, 4-turn is not so bad. He places strengthen and block debuffs on the team. So he's that good. His A1 is also good, pushing back on turn meter, on opponents with freeze on them. But his A2 is great. His A3 is amazing. His passive is OP. You have to use this guy if you're missing those rolls. Because what rolls can he fill now? He's placing block debuffs, so he can help with Seer comps even though there is only 2 buffs. He's not enough on his own, but he can place these, preventing your team from getting debuffed. Control, damage with the HP burns, his passive, boost turn meter, and heal the team. He's amazing. One caveat here, Achak will fill in all of these roles, but he needs to be teamed with other champs filling those roles to the same degree or a little bit more to have the full benefit of it. He won't be able to support the team on his own. He's not that strong. So now let's test him on a budget-friendly team. Let's say in dungeons. Dungeons, Doom Tower, he will work the same way everywhere. So let's go to our normal testing ground, Dragon 20. I'll remove my team. And then, so I want to use his aura. So we're using Artak. I don't have Akoth build. Akoth will be available for everyone. I never can find Cell easily, but yeah, for some reason, but yeah. So 2 champs that are guaranteed. Why do I even have this blessing on her? I don't remember, but Probably it's not the right one, so don't look at this. So now I want to use a check. I don't want to use any other OP champs here. Okay. So we have our budget team, Achak to showcase all the great things he can do. Attack, everybody got attack. Cell of the Drakes guaranteed 6 months. Frozen Banshee to do damage with the poisons on the dragon, and then Tyrell as an AoE damage dealer for the waves, and also to place decrease attack and decrease defense on the dragon there. So you see, out of the gate he protected the team from the buffs. Cell of the Drake is controlling everyone, and then our attack comes in. Notice here, hold on. So he placed freeze on everyone. That's what I'm saying. Most your PvE opponents will probably have their attack more than defense, so he's freeze champ for you. Now, let's slow it down to 1x, because what I want to show you now that now they all have HP burn and freeze on them, and whenever one of them is taking a turn, maybe we can show it, like that apothecary is about to take a turn now, but Jack just pushed him back, because, well, I want to show you the heals. So let's see, so he cycled back. We'll go to the build in a sec here to his block debuffs already. Okay, let's speed it up a bit. And you see, because that freeze is only on a 3-turn cooldown, he already got back to it. So when you pair him with someone like Cell of the Drakes, the enemy team probably will never get a turn there. Makes them fast enough and accurate enough, and they will keep controlling this team. The whole team is CC'd, and now with the HP burns, so his heals won't kick in unless they take turns, but our team is just like, you're seeing all of those, when someone takes a turn, probably you've seen it, all of these heals popping off the team there. You see all of those small heals. That's because of his passive. So he's passively boosting the turn meter and healing the team, because realistically you'll always have someone with freeze or HP burn or both at the same time when you pair him with the right champs. So we are, of course, we were talking and slowing it down, so we are at the dragon, probably do it a lot faster. I would say that if you have a team similar to this, this is a good farming team for Dragon 20. It will also work on Ice Golem normal. Probably I will release my Ice Golem hard video before this one, but for Ice Golem normal, level 20 let's say, or maybe even to 25, we can test it after this. You can use exactly the same team, because it has a lot of control, burns and poisons, which is how you do damage to Ice Golem. So yeah, that's how you do damage to the Ice Golem and to the dragon. Spider got different mechanics. Let's actually test it on Spider as well, because with the burns and the freezes and cell control, it should work the same way, even without the crazy turn meter control. But let's see. Maybe I'll put an Armiger instead of Frozen Banshee, and we'll test it on Spider 20. No problem with the dragon whatsoever. I'll show you the builds of this team, because probably that's an all-around team for different dungeons. Like this same team, let's go to normal, and let's say 20 here. So same team can work. For Spider 20, I kept the core of the team, those 3 champs, to showcase Achak here, and I added just Apothecary to keep us going fast, and Armiger to push back on the Spider's turn meter. What we'll see here is that Achak and Cell will keep the Spiderlings controlled, while Artak will be applying HP burns, doing damage to the Spider and everyone basically. So we'll see here. So he's taking a bit of damage, but between Cell's heals and his heals from the passive, we're not in any danger at all. So the Dragon team can be your farming team if you don't have better options, and this team can easily be your Spider 20 farming team also. Notice the amount of damage we're doing because of the HP burns, while Armiger and Achak are keeping the Spider turn meter a little bit low, Cell is controlling the spiderlings, and the activation from Artak, of course. Of course, if you have Akos, for example, instead of Artak, it will be a little bit slower because you don't have the HP burn activation. But yeah, like we're in no danger of dying. The team will remain healthy between Apothecary, Cell, and Achak's passive heals. That's a perfect team for Spider 20. Another activation, speeding things up for us a little bit. Like I said, if you have an AoE HP burn champ instead of Artak, but everybody should have Artak if you're playing for a few months now, it will make that run a little bit slower. But what you want is that just place HP burn on everyone, tank the damage, and then you'll have your run. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. Now let's bring the same team to Ice Golem, the same first team, the one we used on Dragon. Now let's bring the same team or a variation of it to Ice Golem 20 because it's more or less the same strategy. Apothecary is useful here instead of Tyrell. Well, he's more budget friendly because he's a rare one of Frozen Banshee to do damage on the boss. And then we're keeping everyone CC'd, HP burn, freezes, all of the good stuff. We're having no issues at all with the waves, or we won't have issues with the Ice Golem as well. I will show you the builds just after this run. Fire Knight is different, so he won't help you much, just a little bit on Fire Knight because of his A1. He doesn't have multi-hits, so he won't fit into a Fire Knight team, but he can do Dragon, Ice Golem, Spider, Doom Tower normal or hard, even up to the higher floors, depending on the speed and accuracy and the team that you will surround him with. I'll show the builds that I recommend, and we'll talk numbers about how you should gear your Achak and the rest of that budget team for mid-game going into in-game, for example. So by this, the level of gear, and just to explain what I mean by this, is doing level 20 to 25 dungeons and the first, like, let's say 50 floors of Doom Tower hard. Now we'll go to Ice Golem. This team is perfect. Artak here is playing an additional role. Attack down is one of the debuffs that you definitely want on the Ice Golem, so he won't hit you too hard, especially that with this strategy is HP burns and tanking, the minions will remain up. We're not killing them fast enough, so the Ice Golem is hitting as hard as he will. So it's very important to have attack down on him all the time if you're following a similar strategy. You'll notice here that though the Ice Golem hit us a couple of times, but still is healing us, Achak's passive is healing us, and we keep doing damage on the minions and the boss here. The good thing about relying on poisons and HP burns on defeating the Ice Golem that we're not doing huge chunks of damage that will trigger his, Frigid Vengeance, his hardest hit basically. Just chipping at him little by little with the debuffs, poisons and HP burns, and he's not hitting back hard enough. We got the minions down, he will get them up eventually. Actually, on an HP burn tank strategy, you want the minions to be up, because the more opponents taking HP burn, the faster the boss will die here. But we'll be applying loads of poisons and HP burn, and our attack will activate it, so that will work too. So this team is a bit slow. Usually if you check your dungeon teams, your Ice Golem team, well, Ice Golem and Fire Knight, depending on how lucky you are with specific champs, are going to be your two slowest dungeons. So when we talk which level you want to farm, I would say 3 minutes, 3 minutes and a half. Longer than this, you'll be really struggling to get points for tournaments and fusions and stuff. But if you're really dedicated, I would say you can go up to 4 minutes. Of course, this team is not optimized, but it's pretty budget. So doing it in like 4 minutes or 30 seconds is okay, I guess, if we manage to do it in this time. You see the minions are up, so the HP burns are ticking faster. The run is almost over, and as you can see, the team is fully healthy. There is no danger at all here. With that team comp, we are in control. We have attack down. We have proper healing here. If there is one thing missing from this team, I would say it's cleansing, the debuffs that the minions put on us. But again, that's another thing that Achak can do with his block debuffs. He's helping us with this. So now we've showcased Achak and how strong he is. I hope that was helpful. Let's check the builds now. We'll start with the star of the show today, Achak, and as you can see, I put him in gear that's not leveled up just to bring him closer to your level of gear. I don't have mine fully booked, but probably, though he uses a lot of books, he's worth it, I would say. Invest in him slowly. The good thing is that even without books, though the probability and the cooldowns will hold you back a little bit, but still he will function the same way without the books. Masteries wise, why do I have Fearsome Prisons on him? To increase the chance for those freezes. So Fearsome Prison, because the thing is that if he has enough accuracy, you won't need Eagle Eye, but Fearsome Prison will get us to that 100% for the freezes. So that's a good one to have on him. Let's check the stats now. One of the best things about Achak, he's not gear intensive. What do you want on him? You want him to be fast and accurate. That's it. The other stuff is not that important as long as he has a team supporting him. So above 200 speed, I would say, above 250 accuracy, and you're fine for that level of mid-game. The other stuff doesn't matter. The faster you have him, the better. There is no drawback from making him go too fast. So that's our Achak. Let's check the other champs we had on the team. So we have our Frozen Banshee. Oh, it's good to show her like this because you've seen her working. Probably you'll have her in much better gear. 150 speed, that's super slow. You need her 180, 190 minimum for that level of level 20 dungeons or mid-game. Accuracy level is okay, surprisingly, while she's missing gear. And Frozen Banshee is the same like Achak. You just want her fast and accurate, and that's it. You don't want anything else on her. If you're using Frozen Banshee in Clan Boss, you'll give her War Master, and then yeah, just make sure she lands those debuffs fast enough. Apothecary. Apothecary is built with resistance. That's how you'll build him as support champ. There is an argument to put War Master. Okay, let's go into the masteries for a sec. There is an argument of giving him the offense tree and giving him War Master because he heals based on his crits and he can do some damage and help you with Clan Boss if you need to. He's in random gear. Probably I've been using him in Doom Tower Hard in some comps, so he will be a little bit on higher gear levels than you'd want him for this. You want him going 220 speed or more. Resistance is nice on him if you can have it, but not required for this. Just have him with loads. Like these stats are very realistic. So I would say 50k HP, 3k defense, 220 speed. That's it. That's how you build your apothecary for mid game. Our Armiger, this is the Armiger that we used. Again, missing gear, so he's closer to your gear level, which is okay. He needs to be, so don't look at this build, that's not right. For Armiger to do his thing, keeping the turn meter down, you need him with 100% crit rate. So as much defense as you can put on him, 200 speed, 250 accuracy, 100% crit rate. That's how you want to build your Armiger. And then War Master and just making sure that he's going fast enough and landing those decreased turn meter. Now let's go check the Legos on the team. So we do have Cell. I have a dedicated video on Cell of the Drakes to go check this one. These are my recommended masteries for her. Relentless is one of the best sets for Cell of the Drakes in my opinion. 50k HP, 4k defense, those are not high numbers at all into mid game. Maybe the Relentless, having them in Relentless if you haven't won enough tournaments might be a challenge. With that speed, accuracy and resistance are good on her as well. Let's say realistically, if you're prioritizing Relentless, have her at 200 speed, 200 accuracy, 50k HP, 2.5k defense, and you will be okay. Now let's go check our attack, our last champ on the team. Regeneron Mortal for Ice Golem Hard and other content. Lots of resistance, that's for harder content, not required here. Maybe 200 you can get away with it if we're talking level 20. Accuracy level is okay. Speed is okay. He's already tanky because he's HP based, so defense is okay as well. I would say that's a reasonable build for our attack. And if you can have it in Regeneron Immortal, he'll be great. He will help you in a lot of places. Masteries, same set of masteries that you want on Ninja, Cronam, and him to keep them tanky. applying and activating those HP burns. Let's go back to the man of the hour, Achak, his great kit. He can help you. Don't sleep on this guy if you're missing these roles and you have him. You've seen how strong he can be. I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below which other epic champs you want me to showcase on the channel, and I'll just create videos showing them to you. Thank you for tuning in today. Keep playing Raid. I'll see you next time.